I love Five Nights at Freddy's. One of the things I love most about this series are the designs of these characters. One of, if not the best designed character out of all the games has to go to good old Peepaw Afton himself. And yet, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we also find the purple guy. I want to be clear though that even though this guy is objectively not good looking, I love his looks just as much as I do Springtrap's. I'll be going over both of these characters' designs, mechanics, and lore to help explain why both of these versions are worth having. What's not to love about this guy? His design is immaculate. Getting a good look at him, which we're barely able to do in the game, we're able to see that this animatronic has a corpse on the inside. Common knowledge, obviously. With all the cuts and openings, we're able to see decomposed flesh. And looking at some closer up hidden pictures of him, we're able to see the body much more clearly. He's able to move the mask out of the way to show his true face underneath. One thing I love most are the tears near the eyes. My personal headcanon is that they're from him trying to tear the suit off his face. But the thing I love most is how this design is utilized in the game. Scott uses the less is more method, and has Springtrap hide in the outskirts of your vision until he jump scares you, and even then you only see him clearly for a moment. One of the things I love most is how he behaves in the game. He's the only physical animatronic in the facility, all the others being hallucinations, and that means he acts differently than every animatronic in the game. He actively hides from the cameras, barely being in some frames of them, until he makes his way to your office. Once there, he'll stand directly in front of you, taunting your inability to hold him off. You have to stare this nightmare in the face until you're forced to look away to fix some issues with the air. He could go straight for the kill, but once again, he taunts you by poking his head in the doorway. After this, he finally jump scares you. Going off script here a little bit, just look at his face. This man has always been a diva, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. Lore-wise, there's so much more to say about this guy. So much more that I'm not going to go over all of it in this video, or, well, we'd be here for hours. So if you guys are interested in seeing a video of that, let me know in the comments. Anyway, for a short rundown, we find out over the course of 3 games that he is the reason that everything has happened. We see that the children he harmed came back to haunt him. They trap him in a back room, and we see him put on a familiar suit. We see Afton get spring-locked, and the souls finally be freed. This was originally going to be the end of the series, and I believe this is the tightest the story's ever been. I'm glad the series continued, but it'd be wrong not to admit that I think the story works best if it ended as this trilogy. Okay, alright. This is probably the part you were waiting for. Defending this guy may seem like a monumental task, and at first I thought it would be too. But to be honest, I first saw this guy when I was about 12, 13 years old. I loved the design from the first moment I saw it. It was just so unnerving to see this amalgamation sitting in front of me. He was so different from the other characters, like Lefty, Molten Freddy, or Scrap Baby. They were hulking machines, metal that was alive, while William was just so human. Now, to be objective, his design does seem a bit rushed. The fur on his suit is blocky instead of matted. His ears are a little too small and definitely way too far back on his head. He looks more like this guy than he does this guy. And looking under the suit doesn't really help his case either. He's got a mummy look going on with flesh globs here and there. And his eyes are admittedly odd. There are silver orbs sitting in his eye sockets. Looking at Springtrap as a whole is a little goofy, yes, but how his design is used is why I fell in love with him in the first place. During the salvage section of Pizzeria Simulator, you sit across the table from 4 animatronics: Molten Freddy, Scrap Baby, Lefty, and William Afton. His eyes are unable to be seen, and the way he sits there, unnaturally still, is so disturbing. It worsens when you know that there's a human on the inside of that thing. This is really the only part of the game where he's able to shine. During the survival part of the game, he acts the exact same as all the other animatronics that he's stuck with. This is honestly such a shame. I wish there was a camera system in this part of the game too. If we could have had him hide from the cameras in the same way he did in FNaF 3, I think people would have loved this version of William just as much as the original. Sadly though, it wasn't meant to be. However, we do learn a lot about Afton through his voice lines. There's a video I actually have to go look and see, but I'm gonna have it posted so that you guys can go watch it, that goes into a lot of detail about the significance of these lines. So if you want to hear more about that, I highly suggest go checking them out. Plus, if it wasn't for Springtrap, we wouldn't have gotten his famous catchphrase, "I always come back." And the ending with Henry's speech is fantastic. It is absolutely the best use of Afton throughout this game. And the way he's framed is just perfection. You're not able to see his eyes, you're barely able to see the human side of him. And the flames in the background is just mwah! Chef's kiss. Overall, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I love Springtrap and Springtrap highly. They are my favorite animatronics out of the entire series. And if you hate Springtrap and think he belongs at the bottom of every tier list, that's a valid opinion too. I just hope that I was able to give you a little bit more appreciation of this character. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing and watching some other videos of mine. It would really show me that you guys want to see more of this kind of content from this channel. Otherwise, I hope this was entertaining, and I'll see you guys again.